Jesus, it's all different shapes and styles.
Not qualified as a chef. G'day, welcome to Chef's Favorite. I'm James Grass, and today we're here at Nemesis and we're meeting Chef Mielye and Chef Lina to find out a little bit about their favorite dish from the Word Dining series. Follow me, we'll go meet the team. We're at Nemesis, we're with the chefs, Mielye and Lina. We're going to be tasting some food from your evening menu. Now I understand Nemesis, obviously, coffee shop, pastries, brunch. Are you guys going to start doing some dinners?
Yeah, so we've been running a dinner program since last December. It's a 6-course tasting menu. We've collaborated on the dinner across the board. So she brings a Latin American cooking style. I'm French, Asian, so that ends up being what ends up going on the plates.
Okay.
Super seasonal, yeah.
Right on. So we're going to cook your favorite dish from the menu. What are we going to cook today?
A play on chicken and waffles. It's a smoked cheddar buttermilk waffle with poached sweetbreads that we fry like fried chicken. And then we put a little bit of an Asian twist on it, so we do a gochujang maple gastrique, and then a bunch of nice brunoise, veg, shallot, rhubarb, ginger.
Yum.
To give it a little bump.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you've said a lot of words that I have no idea what they are.
That's cool.
Sweetbreads?
Sweetbreads.
The veal calf? Is that right?
Yeah, it's the throat muscle of the veal. Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to deep fry that?
Yeah, we're going to deep fry that.
Okay. And then there was another word you said, gastrique?
It's a gochujang maple gastrique. Essentially, it's like a sweet and sour sauce.
Yum.
We don't want to call it sweet and sour, so we call it gastrique.
Yeah, we like to make everything fancy.
So you really nailed it. You've got the Asian, you've got the French, you've got the Latin, it's all there.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys get to do some research and development as you're doing your roles. Is there a favorite restaurant in the city that you're loving their program right now?
I'm a big fan of L'Abattoir. That's one of my go-tos.
Iconic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the best. So I really like Stem Japanese Eatery. It's in Burnaby. I think he's the best Japanese chef in town.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I've never heard of Stem. That's good to know.
I go to L'Abattoir too. I like it.
Yeah.
I also have a Como Taperia. To me,
Como's great.
it's good. It's just hang out with friends, have some small plates. We went to Bar Suso, which has a lot of good options too.
Bar Suso, you said?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Is that
Newish.
Chef Gustav?
Don Gatto. He's CDC at St. Lawrence for 5 years, and so he's running that program.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass lineup.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we get into it?
Okay, so these are the sweetbreads. I'm literally frying it just like fried chicken.
Where was your first restaurant job?
At a really, really bad Japanese restaurant when I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that? 10, 15 years ago?
No, 15 years ago. Yeah, I hated it.
Vancouver?
No, Kelowna. I'm from Kelowna.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you move down to Vancouver?
8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Where else have you applied your trade here in Vancouver?
Mainly Annalena. I was there for 4 years. That's where I came up essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple other Japanese restaurants and stuff, but that's where I took it seriously.
So Japanese food is kind of where it started.
Yeah, even though back then when I first started, I hated it. I did not want to be a cook. I thought it sucked. Yeah, that was fucking horrible.
And then what was the turning point?
So I kind of stumbled into a kitchen with a super passionate chef, and he just opened my eyes to a cool trade. So yeah.
And who was that chef?
A Jamaican chef actually. His name was Devon. He was just a wild dude, but he was super passionate.
So what's happening next here? You let that fry for another 5 minutes or?
3 minutes. They're pretty small pieces because this is a tasting. This was actually a mousse for the dinner, so it's meant to just be a 2-biter. So it'll be 2 minutes here.
Sweet. Some knife skills you got there. What sort of knife is that?
I actually can't remember the names. I have the place, Ayanam, in Chinatown. They sell like a bunch of...
What's the name of the store?
Ayanam?
They're the best. He's the best.
Yeah, they have
Okay.
like
The best in town.
Do you have a favorite brunch place in the city that we should know about? Maybe
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah?
Nemesis.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm always in the pursuit of the perfect ham and cheese croissant.
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese croissant. I know that Nemesis does an incredible Reuben croissant. Do you guys still do the Reuben?
We used to.
we used to.
literally
Oh, the
just
Reuben's gone?
yeah.
Gone.
All right, sweetbreads out of the fryer.
Just gonna let these rest up for a sec while we make the glaze.
How do we make rhubarb like that?
We preserve the rhubarb in sugar and we leave it out like over room temperature for about 4 days.
Wow.
4 or 5 days until it's like, you can taste this.
A little sampler. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's yummy.
Right? Okay, have your perfect Brunoise,
Do you
Mielye.
really? Okay, great.
And Brunoise.
Should we see your Brunoise skills?
Who, me?
Yeah, I think we
Sure,
should
let's
see
have a look.
it.
Let's see how we do here. So I've been in the hospitality industry for years, but I'm definitely not qualified as a chef. So I'm channeling my inner Sean Cousins with his lessons on keeping the knuckles away from the blade.
Can be a little bit smaller.
Smaller?
Just a bit. Well, I did the baton, so
That's not,
they
I
look
mean,
good.
I don't know what I've done with the rest of it. Okay, smaller.
Yeah, like that.
Sweet Jesus, it's all different shapes and stuff.
Not qualified as a chef. Yeah, they are all different shapes. But I'm sure they all taste the same, don't they? Do I have to finish that?
Yes, please.
Oh my god. This could be where I lose a finger.
Please don't.
Alright, that's not so bad.
Yeah, that's not
I've
bad.
seen worse.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, that's,
Yeah.
that's reassuring. Thanks, guys. Alright, well that was fun.
Bravo.
And what's this one?
So we have shallot, rhubarb, and ginger.
Shallot, rhubarb, and
So ginger is like pickled ginger.
And is there like a name for that? Or is that just, that's just what it is?
It's like a mignonette that we call.
Right.
So it's like a tiny,
It's like a relish
small-
almost.
Yeah, like a relish.
Yeah, but like super fancy and nice. It's like it's a thing that we torture ourselves with.
Well, so I've actually had the pork belly Benedict here at the breakfast menu.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most incredible bennies that I've ever had. And to your point, it feels like you guys put a lot more effort into the brunch than most places. What is it about brunch that makes you guys do that to yourself?
I mean, I think it's actually a lot to do with the staff. Like we have a lot of like cooks here that like really want to like push and learn and like do really nice food. So yeah, I feel like the staff has a lot to do with it. We have so many talented chefs here too, who like want to actually cook like super tasty food. So we make it more complicated than it probably needs to be. But
now we're at the Great Northern Way location. You have 2 other locations, correct?
Yeah.
Where are they?
one in Gastown and one in North Van.
Right on.
Yeah.
And are you going to be looking at doing the dining series out there as well, or just here?
Eventually there'll be dinner concepts there, but for now the focus is G&W. I mean, this is like just such a nice location. And
Yeah. Incredible room too.
Yeah.
I love the acoustics. And that night when we did the dinner with you guys for work, like it just gets sexy in here.
Yeah.
eh?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Super sexy.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Before we go on to the next little phase here, do you have any like favorite late night spots that nobody really knows about?
I've actually got more of a daytime spot. It's a pretty popular spot too, but Fat Mao.
In
Chinatown. Like I think they have awesome noodles. Like every little item on their menu, I think is like fucking awesome.
Right on.
Like, yeah,
Fat Mao.
spicy wing bean salad. Spicy wing bean salad.
Yeah, that's
it's
delicious.
sick. Yeah.
What about a favorite spot for like a hangover?
Ooh,
Gotta be
oh,
that-
down low. Down low.
Down low
Down
chicken.
low. Yeah.
Shout out
Down
Doug
low.
Stevens.
Yeah. Down low. Yeah.
What's your highest pain threshold of heat you've gone with that?
I'm like a wimp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a wimp. Yeah. No. I'm
I
not
had
an
I had level 5.
Oh really?
I drank a lot of beer to get through that one. Okay, so what happens next with this dish?
Gonna mix these 2 together.
Cool.
So he made the sauce, we made these chunky bits. So the idea is to be like a chunky sauce.
Yum. I'm gonna get out of your way. It looks like we're getting to the most important part of the meal and I'm doing nothing but distracting you. Can't wait to try the veal sweetbreads. I'll let you get at it. absolutely incredible. Again, you had this as part of the Word dining series, and would you say that this was the favorite dish for most of the patrons? Was it the most popular?
Yeah, I think so.
so.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a cool dish to have on like a tasting menu as your first bite.
This was the Amuse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, well, let's not stand on ceremony.
Of course.
Let's have a little taste of this. Look at the presentation, just gorgeous. And what's the white at the bottom there again?
Creme fraiche.
Yum. That mignonette, the rhubarb comes straight through, hey? The gochujang, yum.
Yeah, this sauce is tasty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. You know what's interesting as well? Look how everybody cut their individual portions. Hilarious. More than one way to eat a sweetbread waffle. That is very Moorish. You talk a little bit about your Latin influence and then also your Japanese and French influences. Like, that's pretty well represented throughout this dish, yeah?
It's more represented, I feel like, throughout the entire tasting menu, because like we'll go back and forth between like maybe a more Latin American dish and then more of like an Asian dish. This one's more, I think it leans more Asian, just in terms of like the flavors. But
and
then
a little bit like American. Like,
yeah.
With the play on
And I think-
the chicken and waffle.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense. We're at like Nemesis, which is like known for brunch. We just started essentially doing the dinner concept, so it was cool to like throw this in there as like
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nod to the brunch menu and
Exactly.
the transition to opening up for dinner.
yeah.
We always try to have like a nostalgic dish for people to remind themselves like of something that they ate before, like years ago where they were kids or.
Yeah. What was your favorite dish? Is it something that you reminds you of your childhood whenever you have it nowadays?
My parents owned a bakery. Actually, it was on the first floor, and we were living on the second floor. So
Okay.
every morning, I always kind of smell the fresh, recently baked bread.
Wow.
So I guess I have like the waffle is like my interpretation of like I don't know something that I grew up
Reminds
with.
you of that?
I like bacon and like that, like get my hands into
it.
yeah.
What's the most complex thing that you've baked or that you like to bake? Is it something that's like...
Bread in general.
Yeah.
In general is I have maybe an obsession with bread. There's no like a accurate recipe for bread because it depends on too many factors. Like even I feel like the hands. Like if you're making bread by hand, it would be different if I make my bread or he does his bread. You know? I don't know. Yes.
I mean, for me, it's all just Asian flavors because I grew up with like a Japanese mom. So like, yeah, and she used to like cook with a bunch of different Asian ingredients. So like gochujang is something that I grew up with too. So yeah, anything with soy sauce, rice, that's like nostalgic to me. And, like, yeah, comfort food.
Very cool. And tell us a little bit about your working relationship. You two seem to feed off each other in the kitchen. Quite the dynamic duo. Like, you know, do you have a first memory of meeting Lina or vice versa? The one thing that, you know, maybe Mielye said something and you're like, ooh, okay, he's got it, I get it.
I mean, we did a tasting together like almost a year ago now. That was like the first time we met.
Yeah.
Where we were just throwing up a bunch of dishes for the owners of Nemesis. So it's like, yeah, I kind of knew, okay, she can cook, you know what I mean? But then like, yeah, you just, there's certain people in the kitchen, you just like, your food actually makes sense together. There's like, I don't know, you work with a bunch of chefs and like, even if a chef is super talented, like the food might not make sense together, especially in a tasting menu, it might just be weird. But like our flavors end up making sense and the cuisines that we, like our backgrounds, it ends up like merging together pretty well.
I don't have a memory as he's got like he can cook because I was working in the back and I was so nervous doing that tasting for the owners. But later on, I remember him like he asking me to come up with something like, can you fix this sauce? Can you make this dish? Can you deal with queens? We have like a bunch of queens coming up. Can you like do something with it? And yes, I did. So I guess we started like, okay, why don't we create something together?
Wow.
I think at the root of it, we're both like obsessed with food.
Yeah, we
Right.
are.
So it's like we're always thinking about it. So it ends up like we're on the same level as far as like the obsession about it. So
Very cool. Do you have a favorite cocktail bar? Do you have a favorite cocktail?
God, I'm pretty simple, honestly.
What do you like to drink? If we're gonna go out on a night out, what are you drinking?
I guess okay.
Well, there's a place in Maine I used to go more often, which is Tocador. It's like a really simple in the
I know
middle of
that.
nowhere, but they have good cocktails, and you sit at the bar and you have like a good.
And they have the bar right on the street as well,
Yeah.
right? Where you sit out there and you can watch.
I like their cocktails. It's
Yeah, they're
like
tasty.
no like
They're
super
interesting.
fancy place, but you go and get some like
Yeah.
food and cocktails for a decent. Yeah, it is good.
It's a good spot.
I mean, Kiefer Bar is cool. Like they have like interesting cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a real institution.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've had some of the best cocktail mixologists come
Yeah,
through there.
exactly. So I mean, they're like, I mean, almost no-brainer.
Rapid fire. Favorite French cuisine restaurant in the city?
Oh, St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence. Favorite sushi?
Shit, that's tough.
Sambar in Granville Island.
Sandbar.
Yeah.
Granville Island.
So they have this sushi bar, and then you sit down at the bar, and there's like two Japanese guys like doing sushi, and to me it's delicious.
I think Masayoshi's also, he's like fucking the goat here. As far as like just straight nigiri sushi, I think he's the goat.
Okay. And favorite place for pasta? Or Italian in general?
Italian.
On La Quercia on
Yeah.
4th.
Advocates.
Yeah, he's like
Everything
legit.
nuts.
Yeah. It's like super classic. Nothing's like, you know, super fancy, but like it's always seasoned perfectly. The pasta's always perfect. Like you just can't go wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned Autostrada. I like it's like standard, like classic.
Autostrada's bomb.
Savio Volpe too.
Yeah,
to me is
Savio.
just
Yeah.
like, you know, you're gonna eat well. You're
Yeah.
gonna eat good food.
Well, and the ambiance of Savio too, like the restaurant itself is like awesome.
Yeah. I love sitting in front of the prosciutto.
Yeah,
grill
yeah,
right at the
yeah.
bar. Like that's for me.
Those are the best seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then final question.
Final question.
Last meal on Earth. You're gonna go into a spaceship and you're never coming back. You're going to Mars with Elon Musk. What's your final meal? Are you cooking it? Is somebody else cooking it? And what are you making?
Well, I'm 100% gonna cook it. I want like a massive steak, like a ribeye,
Yeah.
and I want to grill it over charcoal, and I want like a fish sauce, garlic, rosemary, kind of like brushing condiment, and then so I'll sear it, and then I'll just baste it with this like fish sauce, rosemary, garlic condiment. Every time I flip it, yeah, like cook that perfectly. Like I'm talking like a fucking real heater.
Like a
you know what I
20
mean?
ouncer?
Yeah. Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
like yeah, 20, at least 20.
I mean,
Can
we're
you
gonna.
eat that?
Probably not, but I mean, if I'm going to fucking
It's your
Mars, I'm
last
eating
meal,
a
you
fucking
gotta stack it
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
What cut is it? Ribeye?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
ribeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Ribeye.
Okay.
Last meal. Yeah.
Perfect. And
I
you?
just have like a classic Colombian signature dish, which are arepas. So arepas is like a flat kind of dough made out of white corn that you mill. You have the corn, it's a white corn. You mill it, you make like a dough out of it. It's like you add some butter, you can add more corn flour, salt, and then you just like shape it into flat dough, like into a flat kind of bread, and then you grill it. You can put things on top. You can stuff it with cheese, with chicken, with meat, like beef, whatever. But it's like to me, but I want to make it myself because I know the right the right texture, the right crispiness. I did arepas once for work.
Yeah.
You can put things on top, like you can have like I don't know smash apple or like a tomato sofrito or creme fraiche. Or you can just like cut a hole and then stuff it with cheese or like there's so many options.
Which sort of cheese would you stuff it with?
Something that can melt and like
It's a good stretch.
like you first bite and like stretch
Queso
it out.
fresca
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like mozzarella?
Of course.
Yeah.
thing is that I can't find good cheese here. Sorry, but it's like really hard to find like that kind of stretchy,
it is tough.
cheese.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, there's one place that has amazing cheese, and it's called the European Deli, and it's on Davy Street, like Davy and Thurlow, and they secretly have an amazing cheese collection.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
some of the best hummus you ever taste.
Oh, really? Okay.
Their
Cool.
hummus is crazy.
What's it called again?
It's called European Deli.
Okay.
Shout out European Deli. Yeah, really, really good. And then, of course, there's the Grotto di Fromage on Commercial. La Grotta does some amazing cheeses as well.
Yeah.
They're going through a renovation right now, so we'll see what they come up with. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to watch you guys do your thing, and really excited for Word coming up here in a few months.
Very excited
Yeah,
too.
next month.
Here we go. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Chef's Favorite. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Chef's Favorite.